Alright, so this is a really weird concept for a video, but once it popped into my head, I could not get over it. So I'm assuming most of you know about the Grant Amato story already. In case you don't, I'll go over it briefly and then we'll go into the actual part of the video. If you do already know about it and want to skip this part, I'll put the timestamp up on the screen and you can jump ahead. Now this dude was 29 years old and he lived with his parents and he ended up falling in love with a stripper.
I'm in love with a stripper.
Actually, it wasn't even a stripper. It was a fucking cam girl. And he spent so much time online with this girl, they basically became soulmates, as long as he kept putting his credit card information in. But eventually he ran out of money, and this meant they weren't soulmates anymore, until he got a hold of his family's life savings, as well as his brother's credit card. And then magically, they became soulmates again. Now, he ended up spending over $275,000 on this woman, and when he got caught, they sent him to like a rehab facility. But when he came back, he eventually started talking to her again. And this is where the story gets really bad. I'm not going to go into detail, but I will link the Jim Can't Swim video in the description, and you can check that out if you want. But his family caught him, confronted him, and then kicked him out, which caused him to snap. And then he took the lives of his mother, his father, and his brother. Now he's currently doing life in prison, and even before he got arrested, he tried to blame it on his brother. There's just so many messed up details in this story. And again, that was just a brief summary. If you want to learn about the whole thing, check the video in the description. Now, after hearing all that, the question we're asking here is, which one of DSP's fans is most likely to end up like Grant Amato? Now, for legal reasons and for YouTube community guidelines, this is a parody video. Kind of. Because if you've been watching DSP and his fans for a while, you know there's some of them that fit this description. So what we're going to do is have a lineup of suspects. We'll go over some details about each one. I guess I'll leave it to the comment section, and that'll determine who the lucky winner is. Now, let's start with the most likely suspect, and probably the person that terrifies me the most.
Hey guys, it's Derich here, and I wanted to apologize to Reese Robbins. I'm extremely sorry, and I wanted to tell Reese that she will always be one of my many favorite porn stars to watch.
It makes me uncomfortable just watching that, but suspect number one goes by the name of Derich. And you better pronounce it right, or else that'll make him really mad. Now, Derich's family seem to be doing pretty well for themselves, and as most of you know, this dude is online 24/7. He's constantly tweeting at porn stars, telling them how much he loves them, and it doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman, top or a bottom, Derich wants it all. Now, when he's not in Coon World, you can catch him in DSP streams, asking the same question over and over until DSP finally acknowledges him.
Acknowledge me!
And get that going. Outside of that, Derich, I see what you're saying. Yes, I see what you're saying about flow. Derich, I'm doing a video game playthrough, all right? Why would I stop playing Sonic in the middle of the playthrough to comment on that, right? Honestly, I understand. So someone in the FGC from back in the day has passed away at the age of 39. It's sad. Sad to hear. But I'm not going to stop and interrupt the entire playthrough to talk about that. You know, that's something that, like, in between parts or during a podcast or, you know, I'm not going to derail the gameplay stream to talk about that. All right? So, Ryko, you're not understanding what I'm saying. They said, tell the person you're not going to address it. How are they supposed to differentiate? Well, you would figure after the first 20 times you get the point, is by what I'm saying. Like, there's a difference between, okay, maybe he just didn't see it, and I'm going to purposefully keep pushing this into the chat until they address it. That's the difference. And again, this is not me singling out and attacking Derich. A lot of people do that. They want me to they absolutely want me to address something no matter what. So they say it over and over and over and over and over and over in the chat. And sometimes you got to understand there may be a reason why I'm not addressing something you say in the chat. There's a good reason. Okay? Okay.
Now, one thing he doesn't have in common with Grant Amato is the tipping aspect. Derich is a little tightwad, cheapskate, piece of shit. And he hardly ever gives DSP money, except for when he stole his mom's credit card, because the cam girl, DSP, was crying for help. So how long will it be until little Derich blows through his family's life savings and winds up in prison, where he'll probably be cellmates with DSP, who will likely be in there for tax evasion? Again, that is suspect number one, and you can vote for him by typing Derich. Now, contestant number two is a very, very sick individual. This gentleman or gentlewoman, depending on who you believe, goes by the name of the 3-letter bitch. and they definitely have the money in order to make this happen. Now, this is just a rough estimate, and it's based solely on what I've seen over the last 4 years. But in my opinion, it's well over $40,000. I wanted to say 50, but I figured I'd be a little more conservative and keep it at 10K per year. But I'd bet my channel that he's blown past 40,000 already. And when you drop that kind of money on somebody and they treat you like you're nothing, you are playing with fire. But it's not like DSP has anything to worry about. I mean, they only live within an hour of each other. He's used a picture of DSP's wife as his profile picture before. And he even made a YouTube channel where he was playing Minecraft, using a voice changer, pretending to be a girl. And the user ID for his channel was Brianna Lee Games. You know, kind of like DSP's ex-girlfriend, Panda Lee Games. But who knows, maybe that was just a coincidence. So to vote for suspect number 2, type in Brianna Lawson. Now let's go over to contestant number 3, and this fucking loser goes by the name of Dentboxer. And he's been hanging around in DSP's chat for over 7 years. He shows up during the day stream, he shows up during the night stream, and he's in there talking all the time, despite the fact that hardly anyone ever replies to him. And since nobody in DSP's chat likes him, the only way he can get attention is by giving Phil money and asking stupid ass questions. And when I say nobody likes him, even DSP doesn't give a shit about the guy. He consistently gets banned and just keeps creating new accounts and giving Phil money. And this has been going on for years. He even goes around flagging and striking detractor channels and then runs back to his master and still gets treated like fucking garbage. Don't believe me?
So now candidate number 1, as we're starting off tonight, it's supposed to be a nice chill stream, just be $4.20 and says this, just listen to this. Why don't you ever have my back? I always have yours. I got rid of all of your trolls myself. I've been financially there for you every time streams were low. Never insult a moderator, but you let one mod always ban me, a non-moderator and Eternal Napalm. Why? You literally just listed 2 different moderators. All right? So candidate number 1, here's the thing. All right? If it would have been a one-off time, oh, big deal. It's a one time this happened. Not, you know, oh, maybe it was a fluke. Maybe you were just having a bad day or whatever. Right? Okay, fair enough. But once you start getting moderated by multiple different moderators, when you have stream chatters complaining, when literally every other word out of your mouth I see YouTube blocks because you actually say words not allowed in the profanity filters, okay? I know it's not just the moderators and no one has a grudge against you, it's you. All right, so candidate number 1, you have to change your attitude. You have to. You can't be here trying to bring down my streams, trying to say risque shit. No one cares. No one cares that you're trying to turn this into your little private little show where you can say stupid shit. No one cares. Really, nobody cares about you trying to push the boundaries, all right? You're trying to entertain yourself in a way that's not the point of this stream. So you've already now made me waste several minutes here derailing the stream, okay? I'm going to put your tip on the leaderboard simply because it's out of respect of you contributing, and I appreciate that. But I'm not unbanning you. Not until you somehow show a concerted effort that you're going to change your ways. Not that you're going to come back and bitch in a tip saying that someone has an agenda against you and that you single-handedly got rid of all of my trolls. You're out of your mind. All right?
I'd say he fits into your chat pretty well, Phil. But what do I know? So to vote for suspect number 3, type in Grant Amato. Dentboxer. Now let's move on to contestant number 4, a young man that I like to call the scum of the earth, but he prefers to be called Lucifer Soul. And just like the last 2 people, he's a very dirty, nasty pay pig. And also just like the last 2 people, DSP hates him, which means he gets banned all the time, creates a bunch of sock accounts, comes back and gives Phil money. Now if I had to put some kind of estimate on this guy, I'd say somewhere between $10,000 and $15,000. And I'd say that's pretty accurate because I've been keeping an eye on this guy for a while. In fact, when I covered him on To Catch a Pay Pig, I had one of the funniest thoughts that I've probably had in the last 10 years. I've had enough of you, Lucifer Soul. And you know what? When I was doing the research, this popped into my head, this thought. So I imagined myself like a garbage man, driving around picking up people's garbage every week. And I come to Lucifer Soul's house to pick up his garbage. And I get the little claw around the fucking can and I start to pick it up and he pops out of the fucking garbage can and he scares the shit out of me. And at first I'm like kind of shook, but I'm like, okay, this guy's got issues. He's not right in the head. Just laugh it off and say, all right, you got me, man. So then I come back the next week And I pick up his garbage and he pops out of the fucking garbage again. And, you know, it's not funny, but I'm like, okay, he's got issues. Just kind of don't worry about it. I come by the next week to pick up his garbage for the third time. I know he's in the fucking garbage can because that's where he is. That's where he lives. And I pick it up and he pops out and I fucking snap, right? And the only thing that stops me from attacking him is I'm going to lose my job and I'm probably going to get arrested. So I just look at him and tell him, don't fucking do it again. And now today is the 4th week and I'm coming around and I'm a few houses down from picking up his garbage and I know he's in there. I know he is, because that's what he does. And I'm getting closer and I'm dreading it because I know what's about to happen. And so I go to pick up the garbage can and he pops out again, butt ass naked probably. And I jump out of the truck and chase him down and I use a shovel on him. Let's just put it that way. I've had enough of you, Lucifer Soul. I've had enough of you, buddy. I can imagine what Dave felt like getting all these messages from you. You are a piece of shit, dude. You're a piece of shit, and I've had enough of you. I don't think we're going to cover you anymore because I've had enough dumpster diving to last me a lifetime. So kiss my ass. Fuck you, Lucifer Soul. Next one's a clip. Let's go. That brings back so many memories. Little baby super crazy that had no idea what he was getting himself into. But going back to our suspect, I remember when I found his Twitter a while back, and it was just deranged rambling from a lunatic. Now, I'm not going to go over all of it, but I'll read you a few of them. I thought astrology girls were crazy because of past experience, but then I see Megan Fox is like super deep into that lore, and now I'm thinking it's not that bad. I'm sorry that I'm doing everything I told you not to do. If I had to choose, I choose not to. Can I just roleplay broke college kid that works at Starbucks a little bit longer, please? I just want to hug a cute, nice girl that's nice to me. Sad face. Every time I come to Target, I feel like a cute white girl is going to come up to me and try to kill me. And I rest my case. To vote for suspect number 4, type in human garbage. Alright, and we have one more regular suspect to go, but we're not done yet. We have a couple of wild cards we're going to throw into the mix as well. But contestant number 5 is an old friend of DSP's that goes by the name of Brother Sean Julian. And Brother Sean is, how can I put this? On a certain offender's registry, if you catch my drift. But he's also infamous for showing up one night and tipping Phil $300 while he was technically homeless. And that's a direct quote. Now, if we look at this picture here, I took this the same night he tipped Phil, and it says uploaded 3 weeks ago. And the title is Hungry and Homeless in Car Again. Final video, Jesus is coming soon. And normally I wouldn't laugh at something like this, but as I've said in the past, this guy is a fucking charlatan. I've seen enough of his videos and enough of his comment section to where he tries to hide stuff. People telling him they have a spare room or they're trying to help him in any way that they can besides money. And it's always the same generic reply. God bless you. Thank you for the prayers. And people are like, I'm trying to help him, but he doesn't seem to want the help. So it's more of a long shot, but if you're willing to guilt trip people and then use religion on top of it, then turn around and give that money to someone like DSP, there's no telling what you might be capable of. So to vote for suspect number 5, type in Brother Sean Julian. Now we're going to go over a couple of wild cards that people may not expect, but there's something very strange and creepy about these guys. So we might as well throw them into the mix. And wild card number 1 is the human bulldog himself, NDO 103. Now, NDO is a very lonely and desperate man, and he goes around harassing ASMR and cam girls, trying to lure them in with questions like, will I find love? Is my true soulmate out there? Etc, etc. So he already matches up with Grant Amato there. He certainly has money to throw around because he regularly tips DSP $50 to $100, and he's been doing that for years. However, some people would say he's harmless and that he couldn't hurt a fly, but just look at him. He's probably got so much built up fluids in his body that he's gonna explode on somebody. And when that time comes, I wouldn't want to be anywhere near him. So to vote for wild card number 1, type in the human bulldog. Now, I don't even know how to explain the next one, and some of you may not be familiar with him, but those of you that are know he is a fucking menace to society. And that would be wild card number 2, Redemption Games. Now, Redemption did some role playing a few months ago with what he thought were teenage girls who ended up being teenage guys. Well, at least one of them was, but he didn't care about age, looks, gender, species for that matter. As long as it had a hole, it was good enough for him. Now, I was lucky enough to be one of the first people to really start paying attention to him. And back when he was streaming on Twitch, he would say some crazy shit and just keep on talking like it was perfectly normal. Now, unfortunately, most of that stuff is lost because he got kicked off of Twitch. He does archive some of his stuff on his YouTube channel, but there's so much to go through, it's just not even worth it. But there is actually one clip that I do have saved, and we're gonna listen to it here in a minute. And like I said earlier, he would just fucking say anything and then keep on streaming. But he said something one time that a lot of us couldn't believe, so we asked him to explain it a little further. And this had to do with him forcing himself onto some girl while he was in school.
I got reprimanded by touching a white woman's boobies. Yeah, I has to admit, because I was at school. No, it was at school, and one of my advisors, what do you call it, reprimanded me for touching a schoolmate's, boobies. I'm just being real with y'all.
Now, there's no need to worry, guys. He's just being real with y'all, so that makes it okay. And like I said, this happened constantly. And we had clips saved in a Discord server, but that shit got hacked and deleted, so they're all gone. But there was even a clip of him, like Derich, admitting that he took his mom's debit card and used it to support a streamer. Now, he didn't say it was DSP specifically, but I'm like 99% sure that's who he was referring to. And I have one extra clip of him, and I'll use it as the outro for this video, just so you can see how he operates and how his thought process works. But to vote for wildcard number 2, type in Redemption Games. And now we get to the final suspect, and this video wouldn't be complete if we didn't include this man.
What is up, everyone? Hello, and welcome. Oh, the camera's on. The camera's been on the whole time, huh? I don't even know. Hello.
There is nothing but evil behind those eyes. What do you even say? And again, this video wouldn't be complete if we didn't include the guy. Now, just like Grant Amato, DSP is a twisted, narcissistic, sick individual. He doesn't care who he hurts, what he has to do. As long as he can get his mobile games, that's all that matters to him. And if you think about it, he technically has already gotten one cam girl. Now, she's on the very, very low end, but it still counts. And ask yourself this, how much money do you think he wasted when he was flying her out for staycations multiple times? Now, thankfully for his parents, they don't live anywhere near him. And yeah, he's probably too much of a coward to do anything. But think back to when he was supposedly depressed and on a cocktail of medications because he didn't know what he was capable of doing. Does that sound like Darkside Phil? Or does that sound like Grant Amato Jr.? Be sure to vote down in the comment section. And as DSP likes to say, good luck.
Okay, if someone tries to F with kind of stuff, you can go ahead and fuck off and let her do her job here as a moderator on my streams. Thank you very much. Arigatou gozaimasu. Excuse me? Yes. If you mess with her, you're gonna get jumped. Don't mess with fire, or you will get burned. That's my motto. If you mess with fire, you will get burned. Yeah. Ayo, kinda South. If you would be so kind and so generous to drop a sub or gift a sub to fellow members of the community, that would be highly appreciated as it contributes massively towards this goal.